Hare Krishna devotees, very good morning and very, it's today is a very special day because we are going to read about, the 11th chapter. Right? And what is special about 11th chapter? Does anyone know what is the name of the 11th chapter? So,
Vishwarupa Darshan.
So what does it talk? Yes, Vishwarupam. So Vishwarupam is called the universal form and also the Virat Rupam. And before we start, with our chapter, what we'll do is we will, have our Mangalachar and then we will start with this. And today's chapter is my favorite chapter and I hope you all also will enjoy, right? So let's start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Vishwarupa Darshana Yogaha.
Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Om Anyanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Chakshe Uruve Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dadati Swapadatikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopeshu Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamani Hari Priye Vanchak Kalpa Darupyasha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vatsada Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So already this chapter I would request each one of you to go back and read because this is such a beautiful chapter and any number of times we talk about him also we will just feel that we are not complete, right? So this is Vishwarupa Sandarshana Yoga. Vishwarupa means all of you know. It is also called Virat Rupa, the universal form. Now, what is the uniqueness of this particular Rupa is this Rupa is only available in the material world. Nowhere else this Rupa is there, right? So anywhere else, spiritual world and all, you will have Rama, you had Rama here, Ayodhya also. Narsimha and Satya Avadar came here also. He is the same in Vaikuntha also. Same way Krishna, when he was here, he was there in Goloka. But Vishwarupa is an exclusive darshan of his presence only in the material world. So who's going to read today? Please raise your hand so that I can.
Shall I read, Mataji? I'm Sheila Krishnan.
Yes, please go ahead. You can unmute yourself, no problem.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Arjuna wa mad anugrahaya pranam guhyam adhyatmamanyitam yatya yoktam vakastena moha ayam vigato mama. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Arjuna said, I have heard your instruction on confidential spiritual matters, which you have so kindly delivered unto me, and my illusion is now dispelled.
Hare Krishna. So what is happening? So as usual, like every chapter also starts with Arjuna saying, and what does he say? He says that I have heard your instruction on what? On your spiritual matters. Everything, whatever you have told me, I totally accept. And you have so nicely delivered it to me that my illusion is completely gone. No, now I am very clear, right? So this is what he says. And what did Krishna tell in chapter 10? So very clearly, Krishna, he clearly conveys from 1 to 7 that he is unknowable even by the big devatas and demigods, right? So pure bhakti. So how will anyone get to know? The only way anybody will know Krishna is by pure bhakti, right? And only a pure devotee has this purchase power. Arjuna accepts Krishna's supremacy, right? Krishna is so supreme and Arjuna totally accepts that, right? And then why is 11th chapter with 10 we should take over, right? But then, now Krishna speaks about vibhudis, right? Just like how we say, our children, the more they take, we are so enlightened. Same way, the more devotees are more enlightened the more they hear from Krishna. And Krishna is speaking all this for the sake of the devotees, right? So that's the only reason why he is speaking. So why is 11th chapter coming? Now Arjuna requests Krishna to show the universal form. Right? He's so tempted. So he's just asking, okay, show me your universal form. Not because he's suspicious. It is first of all that, it's like curiosity. Oh my God, okay, my friend is in US. Okay, can you please send me a picture of your new car? We say that, right? Is it because you want to, you're suspicious of your friend? No. But you're curious. Hey, send, no, I would like to see. Same way now Arjuna wants to see. And there are more reasons to it, right? It is not just that. He also wants to see because, he wants to prove an example that nobody in future is going to imitate Krishna. And if everyone does, we can always tell, okay, you also show your Vishwarupa, right? At least show your 400 form, if not Vishwarupa. So we can do that. So he wants to set precedence for all these people who can call themselves as God, in the future. So what is he saying? He's saying, Drishtam ichami te rupam, right? Wish, if you desire, if you wish, which we will see, we'll see in Lent. Lord Krishna describes his universal form. Bahuni adrishta purvani. So he is going to describe his universal form. And Arjuna is given the drishti for that, right? So that is 11.9 to 11.14. Aneka bhuta darshanam, right? So everything is there. And Arjuna's experience, he's going to talk what he feels from 11.15 to 31. Dhritim na vindami sammam cha Vishnu, right? So he's talking about what is his experience, how he feels. And what does Krishna tell after hearing his feeling? 11.32 to 34. Kalo asmi loka shaya krit pravariddo. So what is he going to tell? We'll see. I know right now everything sounds like what we say Greek and Latin. So is Sanskrit, right? So let's just hear. Arjuna's prayer starts off from 11.35 to 46. Sagad gadam bita bithaha pranamya. So he's totally surrendering. His pranams he is telling. Pure bhakti needed to see Krishna. 11.47 to 55. Bhaktya tvananyaya shaktya. So what is he saying? What is required to see Krishna? So here it talks mainly about Krishna's universal form, his four-handed form, his two-handed form, and what is required. Hare Krishna. You can start.
Hare Krishna Mataji. O lotus-eyed one, I have heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of every living entity as realized through your inexhaustible glories. O greatest of all personalities, O supreme form, though I see here before me your actual position, I yet wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours. If you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that universal self.
So beautiful. See, the starting itself is saying that I have heard from you in detail your appearance, disappearance, and I have realized, right? I have understood and I have realized the glory. See, understanding is different. Understanding is jnana. Example, I'm not the body, I am the soul. We all understand that, right? And I always tell, right? Today, if someone shouts at us, do we feel, okay, he's just shouting at the body and I'm not the body? No, right? We will feel very offended. So we have understood it, but the fact is realization, vijnana. Practical application of that is not that easy, right? So it's going to take time. So here he says, I've also realized, right? I'm now totally convinced. That's why, he's like ready for the war. But he's now curious, right? He says that he's very, oh, Supreme Lord, can I see your actual position, right? How you entered? Because I've always seen you just as a friend, as a normal person. But now can I see you in that cosmic form, right? I want to see that form of yours. And he's also telling, it's a request. He's not telling, hey, show me. No, he's telling, if you think that I'm able to behold your cosmic form, can you please show me your universal self? So he's telling that if I'm qualified, so look at the level and extent to which Arjuna is surrendering, right? So even a request, right? For us also, when we ask someone, we tell, hey, Shona, we tell with a question, we tell with a request, but we also tell with a command, right? But look at Arjuna, how even though he is always seemingly his friend, he like really tells, only if you think I deserve, you can show me. Hare Krishna, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji. The blessed Lord said, my dear Arjuna, O son of Partha, behold now my opulences, hundreds of thousands of very divine forms, multicolored like the sea. Whatever you wish to see can be seen all at once in this body. This universal form can show you all that you now desire, as well as whatever you may desire in the future. Everything is here completely. But you cannot see me with your present eyes. Therefore, I give you divine eyes by which you can behold my mystic opulence. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So beautiful, right? So he's telling, oh son of Partha, see, behold my opulences. Yes, you're going to see all colorful things right now. But what you see here, right? Whatever you've decided, right? You want the universal form? I will fulfill your wish. Now we saw Arjuna's cuteness. Now we will see how cute Krishna is, right? He's so sweet. He's telling, okay, you want to see, that's your desire, that's your icha. Fine, you will see. But what will you see? You will see the past, what happened. You will see the present, and you will see future also. Everything is complete. So, it's just there. But you can't see with your present eyes. Why? Because Arjuna, you're having materialistic eyes. So I'm going to give you the mystic opulence, right? With my mystic opulence, I'm going to give you, that for a movie, when we watch 3D, what do we need? We need your 3D glasses, right? Even a 3-dimensional movie needs a glass because our eyes are just not capable to catch it. Now, Krishna is going to show multi-dimensional, right? And not just one universe, multiple universes. Therefore, how will he be able to even, see with his normal eyes? So Krishna is giving that. So for all of us who feel, why can't I see Krishna? What's wrong with me? Why only Arjuna? Now Krishna has to come and give us that cooling glass, right? Only then we can see. Now he is not giving that. When will he give? When he feels you are as good as Arjuna. When he feels that we are all reaching Arjuna or at least close to him, deem fit, then he will send us that goggles, right? So currently we are not close. So we will now read Bhagavad Gita, which he has already sent, right? Hare Krishna. Sanjaya uvacha evam uktva tato rajan Mahayogeshvaro Harihi Darshayamasa Partaya Paramam Rupam Aishwaram. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Sanjaya said, O king, speaking thus, the Supreme, the Lord of all mystic power, the personality of Godhead, displayed his universal form to Arjuna. Hare Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So beautifully he's saying, Sanjaya is telling that, oh Krishna, thus speaking, the Lord, right? He of all mystic power. So we know that, right? Now he starts displaying his universal form. So now this story is being told by Sanjaya to, the great, who this person is, right? Can you tell who are these two on the right, this picture? Dhritarashtra. Perfect. And the person who's telling is Sanjaya. Hare Krishna. Now, I just want to highlight, which will come later. Krishna is going to highlight, but I'm telling you in advance. There are, who are all seen the, this is going to be a question. Who all saw the Vishwarupa, right? So keep thinking who all saw the Vishwarupa, and then we will get the answer to the session. Hare Krishna. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Arjuna saw in that universal form unlimited mouths and unlimited eyes. It was all wondrous. The form was decorated with divine, dazzling ornaments and arrayed in many garbs. He was garlanded gloriously, and there were many scents smeared over his body. All was magnificent, all expanding, unlimited. This was seen by Arjuna. If hundreds of thousands of suns rose up at once into the sky, they might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that universal form. Hare Krishna Mataji.
This is so beautiful, right? Because this is one thing which is so powerful, and I can relate to Isho Mantra 15, where it goes like this. Hiranmayena patrena satyasya pilitam mugam Tatvam Pushana Pavrinyu Satyadharmaya Drishtaye. And the meaning of that is, please remove your effulgence. Only then I can see your beautiful face. When we read that shloka, we won't understand. And now we can relate this and that. right? It is like hundreds of, so many so many suns and moons up right there, thousands. So imagine how will it be? It's going to be very heavy, right? It's going to be very difficult. So with that kind of a look, how will we be able to see God? So will Arjuna, right? He's also struggling. And how is it? It is so well decorated, so beautiful. And on the right, can you see this is a beautiful painting of whatever is depicted in the book by some of our devotees who actually done this, right? To the extent. Now they've tried to capture as much as possible. It's a beautiful drawing. You can take a close look at it. And actually it's very difficult because what our imagination holds is bigger than what the picture can hold. But what the reality holds when it comes to Krishna is far, far superior than what our imagination also can hold, because our imagination also is converted by our mind, right? So this is far, far million times, superior than what our imagination can hold. So now we'll move on. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. At that time, Arjuna could see in the universal form of the Lord the unlimited expansions of the universe situated in one place, although divided into many, many thousands. Hare Krishna, Mother.
Hare Krishna. So he's very clearly saying that he's sitting in one place, right? He could see the universal form just in that place. Even though logically, it's not that easy, right? Because it's multiple universe. It's just not our universe. And we already saw in Goloka chart, our universe has Chaturmukha Brahma, and on top of it, 4-faced Brahma. On top of it, 14 planets. Now, like that, our universe is like a mustard in a huge bag of mustard, in a mustard bag. So you can imagine how many universes are there, all at one shot. Just see how overwhelming it's going to be for Arjuna. Hare Krishna.
Then bewildered and astonished, his hair standing on end, Arjuna began to pray with folded hands, offering obeisances to the Supreme Lord.
What is he telling? He's just holding his hand and he's praying, right? He's praying obeisances and he's praying to Krishna. So what does he say? Remember, he already prayed in 10, right? We said that prayer is very important, right? Param Brahma, Parandama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Cham Shashvatam Divyam, Adidevam, Ajam Vibhum. Now, what is he doing? And he supported also, right? Asito, Vyaso, everybody are also saying the same. He gave a testimony of that. Now, what is he going to pray again? Let's see. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Arjuna said, "My dear Krishna, I see assembled together in your body all the demigods and various other living entities. I see Brahma sitting on the lotus flower, as well as Lord Shiva and many sages and divine serpents. O Lord of the universe, I see in your universal body many, many forms, bellies, mouths, eyes, expanded without limit. There is no end, there is no beginning, and there is no middle to all this. Your form, adorned with various crowns, clubs, and discs, is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence, which is fiery and immeasurable like the sun." Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So beautifully you're reading. Thank you. So what is he telling? Krishna is telling, I see that, even your body, all the devatas, right? Demigods, I can see like big devatas like Brahma as well as Shiva, right? And I can see all the sages, right? We already saw last chapter about Sapta Rishis and all. And besides that, what are the other things I see? I see in your form, oh my God, thousands of eyes and mouths, everything. There is no beginning, there is no end, there is no middle also, right? We already saw, no, right? Anadi Adir Govinda. So it's like complete. And then what is he also saying? It is very difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence. I already told it's like too glaring, right? And it's piercing because with one sun itself, can you just go out and wear even a cooling glass, you can't see the sun. It's so difficult, right? And now you have to see this, it's so difficult. It's just so difficult, right? So that is what he is saying. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. You are the supreme primal objective. You are the best in all the universes. You are inexhaustible and you are the oldest. You are the maintainer of religion and eternal personality of Godhead. You are the origin without beginning, middle, or end. You have numberless arms, and the sun and moon are among your great unlimited eyes. By your own radiance, you are heating this entire universe. Although you are one, You are spread throughout the sky and the planets and all space between. O great one, as I behold this terrible form, I see that all the planetary systems are perplexed. All the demigods are surrendering and entering into you. They are very much afraid, and with folded hands, they are singing the Vedic hymns. Hare Krishna Mata.
Hare Krishna. So beautiful. Now see, what is he telling? Now you're inexhaustible. You're the oldest, right? At the same time, there is no beginning, no middle, no end. Number of arms, number of eye and moon. Krishna's eyes are supposed to be sun, and they also represent one eye sun, one eye moon. So you'll have various references, right? So he says you're heating the entire universe, right? Heat is so important because even our digestion is happening because of certain amount of heat, right? And he's saying that they are spread through even though you're one, you're spread all through, the sky and everywhere, the spaces between the sky, and it's a terrible form. Now he's telling that all the demigods who are sun, they're very scared. They're like, literally shivering with folded hands. So can you see very beautiful picture here, right? So very nicely, see, you can see Brahma, you can see Buddha, you can see Shiva, you can see Ganesha, you can see everybody out here. And let's see what more. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. O mighty armed one, all the planets with their demigods are disturbed at seeing your many faces, eyes, arms, bellies, and legs, and your terrible teeth. And as they are disturbed, so am I. O all-pervading Vishnu, I can no longer maintain my equilibrium. Seeing your radiant colors fill the skies and beholding your eyes and mouths, I am afraid. Hare Krishna Mataji.
He's telling, oh mighty armed one, all the planets with their demigods, right? So all devatas, they are very disturbed seeing your face. Eyes, belly, legs, terrible teeth, okay? They are so disturbed, right? And he's telling, okay, not only them, even me. So sweet of him, so openly he's admitting, look at us, we will be so scared and we will never tell anyone. And especially, it is written in the wall that women at least have the right to cry, but men though, that is also that's not an option. And if a guy tells he's scared, then he's not a guy only. Yes or no? Right? We have set our own benchmarks between men and women. Right? So now look at Arjuna, so bold, so elevated, but still he's openly admitting, oh my God, I am so scared. I am terrified. Very openly he's telling, I am also scared. I'm also, they are disturbed and so am I. I am also disturbed. And what does he say? He continues by saying that I can no longer maintain my equilibrium. I am breaking down, right? I'm just so, it's like, I just don't know what to say, right? Seeing your radiant colors, beholding your eyes and mouth, I'm afraid, I'm scared, he's openly telling, right? Look at him. This is what is the difference, right? We all are so egoistic. Even a small thing we will not tell. Even a small cockroach, we are scared, but we will not tell, I am not this and all that. And for me though, I have this habit. I always used to go around telling, I'm not scared. I'm not scared. And then, my dad is a friend. My dad is a doctor. So we are with a bunch of doctors in the entire family and friends. So his close friend's son, who's also a psychiatrist, he said, don't tell that because that's giving everybody a feeling that you're scared of everything around. So that time only I realized, oh my God, so that's what happens to us, right? We tell others, we tell us that we are not scared, but deep inside we are scared about so many things. There's so much of anxiety. Come on, all of you all are very silent today. Yes or no? I'm going to hold the class till you all type something on the chat or open your mouth and
speak. Yes, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. I had a doubt because this is a very interesting chapter and I thoroughly enjoyed. Since you are all silent, I had a doubt if you all had a good sleep or is it boring? No, you're enjoying just as the way I do, right? Hare Krishna. So now you can continue reading.
Hare Krishna Mataji. All the sons of Dhritarashtra, along with their allied kings and Bhishma, Drona, and Karna, and all our soldiers are rushing into your mouths, their heads smashed by your fearful teeth. I see that some are being crushed between your teeth as well. As the rivers flow into the sea, so all these great warriors enter your blazing mouths and perish. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, and first thanks to devotee Kirti, Meha and Radha Iyer, very beautifully shares message. Yes, we are silent and observing the beauty, right? So yeah, we are all stunned, right? So just like imagine Arjuna's plight. So now, the story is continuing. It doesn't end there, right? So Krishna is giving a live demo of how Bhishma, Drona, and Karna and all the soldiers are rushing right between the heads, and he's getting squeezed and crushed between the teeth. So scary, right? And what is happening as the rivers flow in the sea? Their blazing warriors enter the mouth. At one shot, so many keeps entering. How scary it will be, right? So amazing! It is so stunning. It's like it's like watching a movie, live show, right? So that's the feeling. Hare Krishna, and this is the most important stance. Hare Krishna, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, down 2 sentences are not to be seen properly here.
Hare Krishna.
Below on the
Lord
right hand
said-
side, your photos is there.
No problem, I'll read. Hare Krishna. So it's the blessed Lord said, "Time I am, this destroyer of the world, and I have come to engage all people. With the exception of you, the Pandavas, all the soldiers here on both sides will be slain." Most important line, time I am. He's declaring, I am time. I am Kala Chakra. Why does he say that? He's saying Kala Chakra because, and this is a very important point, because the one thing which we always tell is, I don't have time. Not only we've already heard also, right from a small child till a person who is so old, I just don't have time. But remember one thing, time is 24 hours for all, but time expands. Why? Because time is Krishna, right? Time is Krishna. And I've personally experienced this, right? I used to find things so busy, so tight, so packed. Nothing has come down, whether it's my job, whether it's taking care of my kid or my husband or family or my mom, or, and things are only adding in terms of responsibilities. To add to it, now my daughter has got 2 cats. So it's just adding more and more. But time is expanding, right? I never used to have time to even pray for 5 minutes. Now we have time to do 16 rounds of japa. Where? Right? I never used to have time. I stretched time to teach her, but now we have time to take 2 classes back to back. So time is Krishna. And thank you, devotee Suhasini. She's very beautifully written. I agree with Radha Mataji. That's me, right? Radhika. It has been raining and very cold in Bangalore. So I guess the response is slow. Please excuse Radhika. Okay. You were describing everything so well. Yes, that is Krishna. Anything we talk about Krishna, everything is beautiful, right? For someone like me, if you hear from me, just imagine how it will be if you see Krishna right there, right? So this is what, and all this description, thanks to Prabhupada, because he has put it in the words, and this is the description which is actually giving us a scene, a visual graphics of what has happened there, right? Now he's saying, time I am. I destroyed the entire world and I have come to engage all the people, right? And he's also telling, except Pandavas, all soldiers on both sides will be slain. Slain means killed, right? So he is very clearly declaring it, right? And this is the most interesting thing, and you all are going to answer this. So what is he going to tell? Hare Krishna. Tasmatvam utishta yatho. Okay. Tasmatvam utishta yaso labaswa jitva satrun bhunshva rajyam samridam maye vaite nihata purvameva nimitta matram bhavasavya sachin. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Therefore, get up and prepare to fight. After conquering your enemies, you will enjoy flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement, and you, I don't know what is written there. Can be put.
Sabyasachi.
Can be but an instrument in the fight. What is that name, Mataji?
So that's what I was going to ask. What do you mean by Sabyasachi? It's a Sanskrit word, but I think some languages may know this. What does Sabyasachi means? Right? Let me hear what. Expert with 2 hands. Perfect, Rahul. Hare Krishna. Sabyasachi is someone who can do things with both hands. Somebody who writes with both hands. Somebody who's basically he should be an expert and can work with both hands. So Arjuna, why does he call him Sabyasachi? Because Arjuna can at the same time. See, it's not like I write once and then write. No, same time. The same time he can, use both his hands, right? He can fight with both hands. He can, do anything, with both hands. So that's his specialty. That's why he calls him. And he is telling him, somebody who can do with both hands, he's telling Nimitta Matram. So now I'm going to tell you a small story. Now there's a surgery, right? And this is the, whatever you call it, right? The knife which the surgeon is using. It's an instrument, right? Can you declare after the surgery, the whole surgery, was done so beautifully because of the knife. The knife did an amazing surgery. Have you ever heard anyone saying the knife did the surgery? Or the surgery was excellently done by a knife? No, right? Exactly. Thank you. So you tell the surgeon did the surgery. So who's the surgeon here? Who's the surgeon here? Yeah, that's right. Krishna is the surgeon. Thank you. Krishna is the surgeon and Arjuna is the knife, which means he's the nimitta matram, which means he's the instrument. So he is telling, I have already decided. We already saw, right? In the previous chapter, we saw that what does he say? I'm going to take you back, right? He is very clearly telling that I have already done. And what is it I have done? I have already done so that everything is gone, right? Everybody is gone. See here, 11.26 to 27, he's telling Bhishma, Drona, Karna, all gone, right? So then what is happening? I have already done it. I'm giving you credits. You want to take it, right? So therefore, even though you may be a Sarvyasachin, and he's like, the Bhava you see of Krishna also is like appreciating Arjuna, truly. And Nimitta Matram, right? You are only an instrument. Please take all the credits, right? He's giving it to him. So he's telling, therefore, get up and prepare to fight. So how many times Krishna will tell, he has a lot of patience, no? We thought 2 times, 3 times, 4 times when you wake the child in the morning, we feel like that. But look at Krishna, right? For a small child, we lose patience. For such a big man who is equal to his age, Krishna is patiently telling, get up and fight, get up and fight. Huh? 11.34, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. The blessed Lord said, all the great warriors, Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, are already destroyed. Simply fight and you will vanish your enemies.
Hare Krishna. So he's telling, right? So all these people are already destroyed, gone, finished. You're just going to take credits. Please go ahead, which we spoke. Next one.
Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna trembled, fearfully offered obeisances and with folded hands and began flatteringly to speak as follows. O Rishikesha, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid, and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done. O great one, who stands above even Brahma, you are the original master. Why should they not offer their homage up to you, O limitless one, O refuge of the universe? You are the invincible source, the cause of all causes, transcendental to this material manifestation.
Hare Krishna, I'll explain to you. Thank you. So what is Sanjaya saying to Dhritarashtra? He's telling, after hearing, Arjuna is trembling, right? He's so scared and he starts flattering because he's so impressed. Krishna, but he's very excited, right? So it's like, just replace yourself in the place of Arjuna and you're going to speak about your child who's reached something or achieved. How will you feel? You're so excited. You tell, hey, you know what? This my daughter did, my son did this, right? You have that feeling. So now Arjuna is telling, oh Rishikesha, right? The world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, right? The whole world is so happy. Thus, everyone is so attached to him. Not a single person is not happy with him, right? Although the perfected beings offer you with respect, they do respect you, but the demons are scared, right? The Mahatmas, the great devotees offer respect for you, but the demons are so scared and they run away. And it's all perfectly done, right? And above Brahma you stand because you are the original master. Why is he saying? Because Brahma is the secondary creator, right? So, but the primary creator, right? Original master is Krishna, because under the direction of Krishna only Brahma is doing. So he's telling, why can't everyone offer homage? You're so good, right? And he's telling, you are the cause of all causes. We saw that, right? Karanam, Sarva Karana Karanam. And you're transcendental. So beautifully he's saying. And 11.38 I'll read because you won't be able to see this, right? You are the original personality. So he's very clearly again telling, you are the original personality, the Godhead. You are the only sanctuary of this manifested cosmic world, right? So you're the only person, right, who is Sambodham, which means you're the only independent person here. You know everything and you are all that is knowable, right? Everything you know, right? And there's nothing beyond you which anyone can know. You're above the modes, right? He's Nirguna. Very clearly is mentioned here again and again, right? And you're limitless, right? This is so huge. You can show everything. 1 second you can show, you can do everything. this whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you. The whole, everything is pervaded by you, right? So you are the one who pervades the whole thing. Hare Krishna. You can continue now.
Hare Krishna. I have in the past addressed you as O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend, without knowing your glories. Please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times while relaxing or while lying on the same bed or eating together, sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends. Please excuse me for all my offenses. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So now what is happening is, now, typically how do you behave with a friend? You're not very well behaved with a friend, right? So you'll just tell, hey, now also we tell, right? Hey, bro, hey, dude, right? Like that, those days Krishna would have been addressed so many ways, right? Because they are contemplative. They are more or less same age group. And, even when they are talking, sleeping, moving, making fun of each other, right? So many things would have happened, right? So he is so scared. And 1 second, he can't even remember what he did, right? So he's telling, please forgive me whatever I've done, either in madness or in love, right? Why? Either it could be when we are relaxing or when we are lying on the same bed, when we are eating together, or sometimes alone, or in front of many friends also. He would have mocked them, right? He keeps making fun. He says, oh, excuse me for all the offenses, I'm really sorry, right? So there's a beautiful story which I used to share for children. So when we have time, I'll tell you. It's Sparrow, a story of a sparrow. It's a story of the day before all this Bhagavad Gita starts, right? The day before, or just the day when the war, prior to the war starting. So you can see a lot of dialogue exchange by Arjuna. And when you hear the story, now you can relate what all Arjuna did to Krishna and now why he is really pleading. So, Hare Krishna. Yeah, please go ahead.
After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time, my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O abode of the universe. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what is he saying? After seeing this universal form, right? And seeing this universal form, which I've never seen before. Okay, I've never, because the first time he's seeing, right? I am glad, I'm very happy, but I'm scared. I am disturbed. I have fear. So please, reveal your original form, right? So he's now telling, please go back. So it's like you are, you're seeing your best friend, as a CEO of a company, right? And imagine what will be your position if you're working there. You're very excited, but when she comes home or he comes home, you tell, hey, okay, I'll just get your normal thing, just get your suit, blazer out and just be normal, so I'll feel more comfortable, right? We feel that, right? So that is exactly what Arjuna is requesting Krishna also. Go ahead, 11.46.
Hare Krishna Mataji. O Universal Lord, I wish to see you in your four-armed form, with helmeted head and with club, wheel, conch, and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see you in that form.
So now he is clearly telling, what form? I want the four-handed form. See, Arjuna, he wants to satisfy everything. He saw Vishwarupam. Now he's telling, okay, I've only seen Krishna in two-handed form. Let me see the four-handed form. So four-handed is a Narayana form, right? And what does he have in four hands? He has lotus in one hand, the conch shell, right? That's a conch which he is having, Sangha, and chakra, right? Which is what we call it, the wheel, and
The club.
He's having in the four hands, and he wants to see in that form. Now, before I proceed, you all are going to tell me who are all those who saw Vishwarupa in Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. Who all saw Vishwarupa? Mahabharata, whichever name you want to use, you use. But who all have seen? Don't tell me Arjuna. Yes, we all know Arjuna saw. Others can unmute and talk or chat.
Sanjay as well.
Yes, perfect. Sanjaya saw because he already got Divya Drishti. Who else? Yeah, perfect. Sanjaya, Arjuna, maybe Hanuman. Yes, Hanuman is eternal. He's always there. That's a beautiful. Thank you, devotee Rahul and Lily. That was very thoughtful. I have never thought of that. Next time someone asks, I'll tell Hanuman also.
Maybe Bhishma Pitama.
No, Bhishma is not seen. He's never seen this Vishwarupa.
Okay.
True. Hanuman is there. No, not horses. I'm talking about people. So basically, besides them, Vyasa. because Vyasa is also incarnation of Krishna, and through that only he wrote the Bhagavad Gita. So basically only three people actually saw. That is, one is Arjuna, second is Sanjaya because he had Divya Drishti, and Vyasa because Vyasadev is the one who gave Divya Drishti, and whatever he saw is what he could see. Yes, Devotee Radha, you're absolutely right, Vyasa. Besides them, whatever Yashodama saw is a trailer, very small portion when she saw it in the mouth. And likewise, what our Duryodhana saw is also a trailer. So the actual scene was seen. How do we know? We don't know. Only Krishna has to tell. So you can see what he says. Hare Krishna. Please.
Hare Krishna.
One point.
O best of the Kuru warriors, no one before you has ever seen this universal form of mine. For neither by studying the Vedas, nor by performing sacrifices, nor by charities or similar activities can this form be seen. Only you have seen this. Hare Krishna.
He's very beautifully telling, oh, best of Kurus, right? So he says the entire Kuru dynasty, says you're the best. Can you see almost every time, forget Arjuna praising Krishna, Krishna is also praising, and there is no false praise, right? No chumma, not that just like that I'm trying to appease you. He really means, because Arjuna is the best of Kuru, undoubtedly, right? So he is like really, really appreciated, right? So what he's saying, nobody has seen by chanting Vedas, by sacrifices, by studying them, or by any activities, including charities. One cannot see. You're the only one who has seen this form. Yeah, continue.
Hare Krishna. Your mind has been perturbed upon seeing this horrible feature of mine. Now let it be finished. My devotee, be free from all disturbances. With a peaceful mind, you can now see the form you desire. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, so beautiful. No, he's telling very clearly, he's now telling that you're scared. I know it's my horrible feature. So nicely he's admitting, I know you're going to be scared. So let it be finished. You be free from the disturbance. With a peaceful mind, you can see what you desire. So he's asking. And look at the attitude, right? So the moment we say our children or friends, anyone are scared, the first thing which comes to us, oh my God, you're scared. No. First thing we will mock, right? You're scared. Huh? For this itself, you're scared. Huh? Come on, yeah. Yes or no? Don't we say, come on, be bold. As if the entire boldness is a part of us, right? We will also be equally scared, if not more. But don't we tell all these dialogue? But look at Krishna. He's telling, yes, I understand. With this horrible feature, it's quite natural to be scared, but let it be finished. And as you desire, you will see me in the real form, right? So that's what he is actually assuring. And look at this beautiful picture, right? The thing, right? What we told, the four-handed form, he's showing. So, Hare Krishna. So what
Hare
is
Krishna. Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, while speaking thus to Arjuna, displayed his real four-armed form, and at last he showed him his two-armed form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjuna. Hare Krishna.
So he showed the four-handed form, and now back to two-handed form. Because that also Krishna only, Arjuna asked, give me your two-handed form, now back. Because I want to see you as a normal friend, right? So, and this is very rare, two-handed form, right? This is told by Brahma in his prayers in Brahma Samhita. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena sandai sadeva hideshu viloshayanti yam shama sundaram gunach achinta gunaswarupam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Hare Krishna. So what does he say? Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Yam shama sundaram. Shama sundaram means very beautiful, like the evening, very beautiful. Your two-handed form is very rare, right? So that he's going to explain. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. When Arjuna thus saw Krishna in his original form, he said, seeing this human-like form, so very beautiful, my mind is now pacified and I am restored to my original nature. The blessed Lord said, my dear Arjuna, the form which you are now seeing is very difficult to behold. Even the demigods are ever seeking the opportunity to see this form, which is so dear. My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding? Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, thank you. So he's very clearly telling this is the human kind of form, and it's so beautiful, and it is, very calming the mind, right? And he said, whatever you're seeing, even the devatas, the demigods, want to see, but they have not seen, right? And he's saying only by unalloyed devotional service, undivided devotional service, people can understand it. So you can enter the mysteries only by understanding, not by mental speculation. So that is what he is saying. So now he is again reiterating. Who can see this cute little Krishna's two-handed beautiful form? Hare Krishna. Bhaktya tvananyaya shakya aham yevam vidojuna Nyatum drushtum cha tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So very beautifully he's telling, right? My dear Arjuna, right? He's addressing again, my dear Arjuna, right? And only, I'm standing before you, and what you're seeing directly, right? This is the only way one can do is being a devotee and a friend, right? Ananya Shakya, right? Both devotee and a friend. From beginning, he's telling that is a qualification for seeing me. Hare Krishna. Mat karma krin mat paramo mat bhaktaha sangha virchitaha Nirvaira sarva bhuteshu yassamameti pandava. Hare Krishna.
My dear Arjuna, one who is engaged in my pure devotional service, free from the contaminations of previous activities and from mental speculation, who is friendly to every living entity, certainly comes to me. Hare Krishna.
So we already read the Ajamila story, right? The second chance. It's a Bhagavatam story, and it is there is a separate book also. Second chance. Now Ajamila is given a second chance because of his, previous, austerities which he did, and because of his bhakti, he is given a second chance to fix his mistake, which he does, and eventually returns to Vaikuntha and takes the four-handed form because he goes to Narayana, and we will take the bodily features, right? So many aspects are there of that. He takes the bodily features of Narayana. And now this is what is the continuation of our most beautiful, Krishna. And what does Krishna say? We already saw that starts off with Arjuna requesting Krishna to see the universal form. Now, every time, Arjuna's all wishes, right? All ichchas are fulfilled here. Now, Krishna first describes and then gives him the vision, right? First the theory class, then only practical. Right? So that is what he's also doing. And then Arjuna experience on universal form, the fear, tension, everything. And Krishna's reply. And then the four-handed form he sees and the two-handed form he sees, right? So Arjuna offers prayers in between as well. So pure bhakti is what is required. So what is a qualification? Is, greed, intense greed. It's called laulyam. That means greedy. Intense you should have. That is the only qualification for bhakti. Right? So imagine this is how Krishna is. And with this, we are pausing this chapter and we will continue another super chapter tomorrow. But this is my all-time favorite chapter. I request each one of you to go and read this chapter at least, because this one you will relish if you read this, because you will know, right? So you can actually picturize what Krishna is, because what your mind can picture is far bigger than what your eyes can, right? So we can't anyway see the Vishwarupa, but at least we can hear with the grace of Prabhupada, try and have a memory picture of what Arjuna has seen. Yeah. Hare Krishna. And you can start your questions. Any doubts? Any doubts you all have? You all can unmute. Just 1 second. Yes, you all can unmute. And chat is open if you want to do. Till then, I will tell one second. Any doubts? No? Okay, if there are no doubts, we can actually end the session. So are there no doubts? Or I can tell a story. So till then. Story? Okay, thank you. I will tell them. So before that, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, I'll tell you a story. of what's called the faith of a sparrow. Does anyone know the story? You may be knowing the story. It's just that probably you don't relate to what I'm telling, the heading which I've given. Right? Just looking for the sparrow. Yes, the faith of the sparrow. Okay. So now, as I told behind the scenes, right? Just like how the cricket ground is, we all know what happens in the cricket forum, cricket ground also, you have a situation. And what is that situation is the ground gets cleaned, right? Gets cleared. So it's likewise, what happens here is this place also gets. Why does it get cleared? Because you need to have a lot of stuff, right? So that is the idea. So you need to have the war field cleared. So that's the entire idea of this field getting cleared. This is also doing exactly the same thing. So let's try and see what is happening in the entire story, right? So this is a trial which is going to happen. So now I am back here. Yes. So so what is exactly happening? So we will go back to the sparrow, right? And find out what is happening. So exactly on that day of the war, that morning, what happens is, all clearing is going on. The final bit is happening. So on that day, what is happening? They are uprooting all the trees. And why do they do? Because they need a level ground, right? And that time, exactly at that time, there is one particular elephant you can see which uprooted that tree. And there was a sparrow with in its nest, it had its 4 small little sparrows. And this nest fell down, right? And this elephant pushed it while uprooting the tree. So now the sparrow has become homeless, and it is so sad. And Arjuna and Krishna, got the package deal, right? So they have come to have a good look at this place. When they are coming to have a very nice look at this place, they see, they've been talking and they just want to have and at that time, exactly what is happening is, the sparrow is seeing Krishna and it immediately wants to ask Krishna, you know what? This elephant did this to me and I'm now on the ground, with my kids. So immediately Krishna is telling, yes, but what can I do? That is what it is meant to be. I can't do anything. So Sparrow is telling Krishna, you're saying like this, but I know you have a lot of power. You can do anything. So Krishna is telling, no, you should understand. This is destiny. This is time, right? It's Kala Chakra and doesn't wait for anyone, right? So immediately the Sparrow is telling, oh, Krishna, you're talking such big words. I don't understand so much, but I know one thing, that time which you're talking about, the Sudarshana Chakra is your devotee and it's in your hand, right? So if you wish, you can save my children. Please do what you can. And it circumambulates. And Krishna just says, okay, go stock food for 2 weeks. And the sparrow just leaves, right? He prays obeisances and Arjuna is coming and telling, shoo, what is the sparrow after Krishna? Right? And he comes and asks, Krishna, what is this? So Krishna tells, actually that elephant, can you see that elephant right there? That pulled the entire tree, it uprooted the tree and the nest fell down. So Arjuna is very compassionate. He says, oh my God, very sad. Okay, come, let's go. So he's telling, no, wait, give me your Gandhiva, right? Arjuna is like, what? Give me your Gandhiva. He doesn't have an issue to give, but he also is very scared, because Krishna has promised that in the war field, he will not take the weapon, right? So he says, no, Krishna, you tell me what you want to do, I will do, right? And Krishna is saying, no, just give it to me, please give. So Arjuna, as usual, he can't refuse, right? So he gives him, though he tried convincing him. So then finally he gives him. And then what happens is he immediately takes the bow and aims at that the elephant. And, he's just aiming and Arjuna is watching. And then that arrow goes and, the elephant didn't die, right? It just slipped and the bell fell down. So Arjuna just couldn't tolerate, right? He started laughing, see how smart Krishna is and what kind of his aim, right? So Arjuna is telling, okay, give it to me, right? So now we saw here, right? Today chapter we saw like Arjuna made fun of him. So now is one classic example. They're saying, okay, give it to me. Leave it. I'll take care. You give. Krishna is telling, no, it's okay. No, you give it to me, right? He's got that little laugh in his face telling that, okay, I can do this. Now you missed it. Let me do it. And Krishna is saying, okay, forget it. Let's go back. It's already taken care of. Let's go. And now after that, you saw the whole Bhagavad Gita coming and all the, you have whole Yuddha happening and Bhagavad Gita coming up for us. And the rest of the story, And what happens is on the last day, as usual, every time, they will come, right? So they had this conversation. On the last day, what happens is they come back, because what they do is they will come and pick all the people who have little lives. They'll try and treat them. All the weapons, they'll come and revive. They'll just try and see if anybody is struggling. So they come on a stroll, and what is happening is Krishna is telling Arjuna, hey, pick that bell. And Arjuna is very perplexed. There are people fallen, elephants fallen, knives fallen, a lot of weapons fallen. But Arjuna is so comfortable telling, pick up this, bell. And that's the smallest and the silliest, easy thing. So he's just not able to relate, and he's asking what? He's telling, just pick. The moment he picks, all the mummy bird along with the 4 birds are just flying off. And he's so excited, he's like, oh my God, oh my Krishna, you actually aimed at the bell to save them. But look at my mind, right? I was thinking you want to kill the elephant, right? You can see the laugh in Arjuna's face, right? So sometimes so are we, right? We are so dumb, thinking that, oh my God. And after this, these birds circumambulated Krishna. They all thanked, even the little birds thanked Krishna. And Krishna is like literally totally again surrendering. He's telling, oh Krishna, please, you're awesome. You're so good. Thank you so much. And you have done, you really saved, but I really didn't understand. I thought you missed your, aim, and I thought I'll help you, but your aim was so perfect and your plan was very different, just that we don't understand. So what happens most of the time is we have something in our mind and we want that to happen, right? We have a mental concoction. Oh, this is the right thing. Even for us, we feel, right? I want this and what I think is the best, right? But Krishna knows what's best for us, right? Just like how a child says, I love ice cream, I want it. And you're telling, oh my God, this cyclone, it's pouring. How can you think of it? No. Are you bad? No, but you know what's best for your child. Same way, Krishna knows what's best for us. Just that we believe in ourselves so much. All the reading of I'm not the body, I'm the soul is all gone, right? I am me and I want for myself, right? That's all is in our mind. So this is our story also. I hope you enjoyed. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yes, we enjoyed them, Mataji.
Thank you. So
Very
we'll meet
nice.
again tomorrow. If there are no more questions, we'll finish. All of you with me now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.